Dear students, Alamukarthi Neeraj Kumar with Figure of Speech Part 2. Hope you all have visited my channel and went through the Figure of Speech Part 1 and you had understood those figure of speeches. Now the next set of figure of speeches I am explaining through this video. Let's learn another figure of speech, hyperbole. Hyperbole, exaggerated statements or claims not meant to be taken literally. It involves an exaggeration of ideas for the sake of emphasis. The way of speaking or writing that makes someone or something sound bigger, better, more than they are. That means the person may have some qualities. The way we speak or way we portray him, it is exaggerated means, or the qualities are given higher range means, then it is called as hyperbole. It is derived from the Greek word means overcasting. Let's learn with an example. It's been ages since I last saw you. That means for past so many years or so many days or so many months, I have not seen you. But here it's been ages. Ages means so many different types of ages. Stone age, middle age, all those things. No. So that's things, it is over exaggerated here. My grandmother is as old as hills. When the earth appeared, hills appeared. Till then my grandmother will not be there. But it is compared as she is aged as hills. Means she is much older. That is what? But it is exaggerated. That is why the figure of speech here will be hyperbole. Here if you see in the picture, you can see she cried so long that she made a lake. That is her tears. Means she cried for so long time that her tears made a lake. Literally it is not possible. So whatever examples given here, literally it is not possible. But you can compare that crying so long that it made a lake. So that is why so much of exaggeration, it is called as hyperbole. Let's learn the another and interesting figure of speech, onomatopoeia. It is pronounced as onomatopoeia. The formation of a word from a sound associated with what is named is onomatopoeia. Word which imitates the natural sounds of a thing. A sound effect that mimics the things described, or it makes the description more expressive and interesting. Means it imitates the natural sound. That is a simple thing. The buzzing bee flew away. Bee makes the sound of buzzing and it buzzes and it flew away. That is what the sentence means. The word buzzing, it is imitating the sound of the bee. That is why it is onomatopoeia. The rustling leaves kept me awake. Leaves rustle every now and then, and the rustling sound of the leaves kept me awake. So the sound of the leaves rustling is used, so it is onomatopoeia. Here in the picture you can see the type of word that sounds like what it describes. Example is buzz, whoosh, boom. So these kind of words that describe the sounds, if it is used, means it is onomatopoeia. I'll clarify with an example. Dog barks is not onomatopoeia, but dog bow wows is onomatopoeia. The next figure of speech we are going to learn is synecdoche. Synecdoche is nothing but a part is made to represent the whole, or vice versa. Call a thing by the name of the material it is made of. Example, jewelry made of gold. We say it is gold. Okay, that is an example. So gold is representing the jewelry. Here in the picture you can see I had to sell my, so many wheels are there, vehicles. Vehicles will have the wheels. Okay, so to represent the vehicle, wheels are used. In the next one, we have got too many mouths to feed. Mouth is representing the human beings or people. So That is why here it is synecdoche. The next figure of speech is metonymy. Metonymy is the substitution of the name of an attribute or adjunct for that of the thing meant. It replaces the name of a thing with the name of something else with which it is closely associated. The word used to describe another thing is closely linked to that particular thing, but it is not the part of the particular thing. Let us learn with an example. Suit. It is used to represent business executives. In those days, normally business executives only wear the suits. So that is why suit is used to represent normally business executives. Totally different words, but closely associated. Crown is used to represent the power or authority. The pen is mightier than the sword. Pen represents the letters, words, sentences or writings or quotes or any literary articles. So the pen represents those words or the literary articles. So something else it is, but it is closely associated. Such kind of figure of speech is known as metonymy. Now let us compare synecdoche with metonymy, since both are somewhat similar. Synecdoche is part to represent the whole, that is wheels to vehicle, hands to helper, and metonymy is referred by the things related, power to crown, court or judge as the bench. Now let us learn another figure of speech, epistrophe. It is an arrangement of words addressing non-existent person. Abstract idea in such a way as if it were present and capable of understanding the feelings. Means we are addressing the person, he may be dead or it may be an inanimate object, etc. For example, oh cell phone, why don't you load my messages? Cell phone here is inanimate object, but we are talking to the cell phone. So that is called as epistrophe. The second example, oh holy night, the stars are brightly shining. So we are addressing the night as a holy thing, and in that night stars are brightly shining. In short, speaking directly to a real or imagined listener is called as epistrophe. The next figure of speech is climax. Climax means nothing but the successive words, phrases, clauses or sentences that are arranged in the ascending order of importance. Example, look up in the sky, it is a bird. First you need to look up in the sky and then to the bird. So there is an order of the words or the phrases. So it is called as climax. It is a ladder or the arrangement of series of ideas in the order of increasing importance. That is called as climax. The next one is the vice versa of climax, that is anticlimax. Here the arrangements or series of words in the order of decreasing importance. So the order of importance is descending. Arrangement in the order of decreasing importance. He lost his family, his car and his cell phone. See, cell phone is not that important, but family is very important. So the order of decreasing importance is given in climax. Here the example, he has seen the ravages of war, he has known natural catastrophes, he has been into single bars. That means the order of decreasing importance is known as anticlimax. The next one is transferred epithet. Epithet is nothing but adjective. It is the modifier or adjective that qualifies the noun other than the person or thing it is actually describing. used to set the transfer between two different points. That is transferred epithet. It is transferred from one word to another word that is closely associated with it in the sentences. Although calculate the statement in classical form, its descriptive sense always transfers its real sense to the hidden form. Hidden characteristics is described in transferred epithet. Example, I had a wonderful day. Here, wonderful day. Wonderful is describing the day. Wonderful is the epithet that is describing the day. But the wonderful day itself is for me, that is I over here. So the wonderful adjective is describing me or I. That is why that is transferred from one point to another. Second one, cruel bars, sleepless night. These all things are transferred from one form to another one. That is why it is called as transferred epithet. The next one is euphemism. Euphemism refers to polite, indirect expression that replace words and phrases considered to be harsh and impolite. That is, unpleasant thing is given a simple expression. It is called as euphemism. For example, rather than telling old person, normally we feel aged or old means we feel that we are good for nothing. But instead of that, if you use senior citizen, it means they are given some kind of dignity. So very less harsh word is used means then it is euphemism. Kick the bucket, it is a euphemism that describes the death of a person. In the picture here, I am letting you go. That is, you are fired. The person who is in the boss position, he is saying to the employee that you are fired. Instead of telling you are fired, I am letting you go. Very less harsh words are used to express you are fired. That figure of speech is called as euphemism. The next one is irony. Irony. Words are used in such a way that their intended meaning is different from the actual meaning. The expression of one's meaning by using language that normally signifies the opposite. In other words, we can say sarcasm. It is used humorous or giving the emphatic effect, more clearer effect. Situation that ends up in quite a different way than what it is generally anticipated. In the situation, this may happen, that may happen, that is what we think. But it actually ends in the different way, opposite way. Then that is known as irony. Example, the desert was as cool as a bed of burning coals. See, burning coals itself is a hot thing. And desert is compared to that hot thing and it is described as the cool. So opposite, sarcastically we are saying. Then it is called as irony. Next one, the new boss was as civilized as a shark. So boss is compared to the shark, how much he is civilized. That is known as the irony. Opposite ideas of sarcastically expressing something is called as irony. Nothing is written in the stone and in the stone itself it is written. And the next picture you can see, thank you for driving carefully, but the person has not driven carefully. Then that is called as irony. The next figure of speech we are going to learn is pun. A pun is a play on words that produces humorous effect by using a word that suggests two or more meanings. The pun is also called as paronomasia. And the multiple meanings of a term, it is used as a pun for humorous or rhetorical effect. That means in day-to-day life, pun examples are used intentionally or accidentally, used in jokes or witty remarks. Let's learn with an example. An elephant's opinion carries a lot of weight. Means person who is great if he gives an opinion means that will have a lot of effect. Or if you take it in a sarcastic manner also, we can say that elephant's opinion carries a lot of weight. That means person who is large. If he gives opinion, it carries a weight. Another example here is, you are my better half. Instead of better half, it's used as better half. So again the play of words or pun is used in this sentence. The next figure of speech is epigram. Epigram is pithy saying or remark expressing an idea in a clever or amusing way. That is in a quote. If you see the quotes, all the quotes that are given, that is full of epigram. Okay. A short poem, especially satirical one with a witty or ingenious ending, means sarcastic one we can say, but some kind of thinking will involve, or some kind of thinking can arise in our mind. Such kind of things said in a poem is known as epigram. Let's learn with an example. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Means if you feel inferior only, you are inferior. If you are not feeling inferior, that means you cannot have the attitude. I am not saying about that, but you should think you should be confident enough to do some work. Whether I can do or not, like that kind of double thinking will make you feel inferior. So without your consent, nobody else can. You yourself are feeling inferior means yes, you are inferior. If we don't end war, war end us. The fighting between the two countries or between the two families or between the two states, anything. If we don't end that, that will end us. The life will be miserable. That is what the sentence means. You can't beat a cup of tea. The tea cannot be beaten, or you cannot hit also, or you cannot mix also. Already it's cup of tea. It's mixed one. So you can't beat. So that is epigram. Means inside meaning, implied meaning is given. The next figure of speech is rhetorical questions or interrogation. From the name itself, we can understand that any type of question is called as rhetorical question. And it is asked when someone, the speaker, without expecting any answer, just for the effect or to lay emphasis on the point, we use rhetorical questions. And the rhetorical question will have an obvious answer, and it is used as a convincing device for the listener. Questioner asks it to lay emphasis to his point, and also to draw the audience's attention. Also rhetorical questions are used. Example, did you hear me? The teacher suppose is teaching a lecture in the class. Some children may be listening, some children may not be listening, and to draw the attention of all the children, teacher will just to lay emphasis on her point or to draw the attention, she asked, did you hear me? Are you stupid? The speaker may be using this question to emphasize the listener as stupid. And the rhetorical questions usually starts the WH questions or yes or no questions as normal interrogation questions. But the thing is, answer is not expected from the audience. The next figure of speech is tautology. Tautology is a phrase or expression in which same thing is said twice in different words. It refers to an idea repeated within a phrase or a paragraph or a sentence to give an impression that the writer is providing extra information, means emphasis, to give emphasis on what the person is telling. The word tautology is derived from the Greek word tauto, meaning the same. Tauto means same, and logos means word or an idea. So two different words used to give the same idea or same meaning means tautology. Example, shout it, shout it, shout it loud. Shout itself is loud and shout it loud is same meaning with two different words. So that's why tautology. Repeat that again and reiterate again. Repeat itself, the meaning is again. So same meaning used with the different words. That is why. And you can see in the picture some kind of tautology used. Armed gunman, single bachelor. Bachelor itself is the same, but single bachelor is not required. Depreciate in value. Value is getting depreciated. Okay, so such kind of words to give the same meaning with different words are called as tautology. The next figure of speech, what we are going to learn is very easiest one, repetition. Words or phrases or sentences repeated 2 or more times means it is repetition. Directly we'll go to the example. If you think you can do it, you can do it. Words like you can do it is repeated. That is why the figure of speech is repetition. Rage, rage against the dying of the light means rage. The word is repeated again, and that is why it is used twice or thrice is to give emphasis to the meaning of the sentence. That is why it is called as repetition. For the poetic effect we can say. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. The same sentence is repeated again and again in the same poem. Again repetition. Nevermore, nevermore. Again repetition. So the words or clauses or sentences repeated means it is called as repetition. The next figure of speech we are going to learn is inversion. From the name itself we can understand that the sentence is inversed. The order of the words is reversed so as to emphasize a certain word. Or we can say that the sentence is not in a proper grammatical way. This is used to achieve a particular effect of emphasis or meter. Example, the soldier strong. Actually, the sentence should be the strong soldier, or the phrase should be the strong soldier. Second example, shouts the policeman. The policeman shouts should be the correct order. And inversion, another name for inversion is anastrophe. Anastrophe is another word for inversion. For example, to the sea she went. It should be she went to the sea. Without smiling they parted. The correct order should be they parted without smiling. Just to give the effect or just to get the rhyming, this kind of inversion is used in the poems. It should not be certain that it should be in the correct grammatical way. So if the sentence is not in the correct grammatical way, it is called as inversion. Thank you for listening to my video. Hope you understood the video, the figure of speech completely. If you have any doubt, contact me in the comment section. Like and share my video and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.